Am I on? I'm on? I'm on. Okay. So this is for anybody, and I mean anybody, who ever thought or was about to think that a woman couldn't spit. Let me tell you what my daddy said. They say one day it would all make sense. But when minds are misconstrued because of commonless nuisances and senses become dense. My daddy always said that common sense wasn't so common. Because if common folk thought common ways and commodities won't be so commonly forgotten. But some way we went all the way from the top and sank all the way to the bottom. Our commonality is this common when commodities commodify and then we become commoners. Our visions don't even look that far no more. One's most commonest commotion will fit in these commodious communities because we slang incommodes of rockets, bang the most incompetent of Gucci's, and we still fight for our common wills even though our common children bang and steal and still can't even use condoms. Somewhere in this world we have forgotten because we've abused what we should have used, our common sense.
Hey. Y'all cold.
Now back to the piece.
Dozens of bullet casings now blocking this Westside McDonald's drive-thru are morbid markers of a 7-year-old girl's very last outing. Doctors say Jacqueline Adams had been shot too many times. The 7-year-old little girl died at the hospital.
Y'all, please put the guns down. Our kids want to play. Please put the guns down. Please put the guns down. Please put the guns down.
As I stare at an oversized TV, I just be wondering. On the station of ABC, newscasts of GDs with no GEDs who stand on corners that intersect life and death, where most choose the path that leads to darkness. I just be wondering how those mans with the sagged pants can just deal with dealing on corners not even worth stealing from. Those corners that justify why there are liquor stores and gun shops on every block. Where the fallen are painted on shirts being celebrated with Glocks cocked, rocks balled up in pockets, ready to sell to the next crackhead who probably had the greatest potential to be a scientist or a doctor, discovering new medication instead is now digesting medicine that only sentenced him to having his own ticket on his toe. I just be wondering because I really be wanting to know how glorifying jump-ons became legit. How there are no more 101 fights. Instead, building tools are used like two baffos and bricks, sticks that could have been used to build better homes for our babies are now being used to murder. And y'all really be wondering why I be wondering how our babies would rather stand on corners and stand for nothing because in their eyes, they are grown. Although mama still see them as babies. Their morning breath still harbors the scent of a baby's. Their portrayal of a lack of common sense like they are just babies. Although they carry student-reduced bus fare cards in their pockets because they are just babies. And not old enough to even drive, so therefore lack it. I be wondering how we went from Sesame Street's ABCs to 79th Street's GDs, BDs, and 1, 2, 3, 4 corner hustlers to stone-blooded stupidity. And when you'd rather go by no name, you just roll renegade. It's kind of crazy that the only thing we don't roll is honors. We'd rather roll our hips, blunts, and eyes and watch as our dreams roll away in dirty faulty water they can't afford to leak anyway. I just be wondering how our kings replace their crowns with snapbacks and tattoos, fat stacks cause cash rules. It's a shame we become fools. Our queens who stood with intelligent heads on shoulders now only give head on shoulders of innocence. And you would think that with all this head sharing that there'd be some common sense. But it ain't. Because we constantly complaining what we can't, ain't, and won't do. Cash rules everything around us, and we act like we don't want it to. Babies having babies for baby daddies who don't want to be daddies. So these wannabe daddies are branding babies to be brainless. Clenched fists raised like, yeah, we black and we proud. Are the same fists being cuffed while the cops screaming, how you like us now? How you think this sound? We've become trained coons. If you call our slain black youth being featured on ABC News a televised revolution, then I'm turning this TV off soon.
Little girl died at the hospital.
Y'all, please put the guns down. Our kids want to play.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a digger, a dancer, a painter, a drawer, and helping kids really be safe.
What do you when you grow up?
I want to be a superhero, and I want to be a doctor, and I want to be something that can change the world. I want to be watching on the TV, a dancer. My friends are going to be so happy at them, a tea party, and I want to help people save the world.
It's time to put the guns down, y'all. Our babies, they want to grow up. Our babies, they deserve to grow up. Let's show up for them, y'all. Blessings and love.
Put the guns down. Be nice.
Be nice.